Okay, so today's video is about a few things, alright? I'll be talking about the Christian sixth sense, in a sense. Like, how when you become a Christian, you kind of get to, you kind of have this perception and understanding of, these different things in the world. Where, how God says in Scripture, these things are bad, right? And then when you start to look in the world, right? You see how everything he said about being bad and what Satan wants versus what God wants is actually coming true, right? And you're being convinced and led to think that it's good, alright? So I'll be talking about the Christian sixth sense a bit, and then I'll also be talking about why in modern society people are turned off to Christianity and faith and why they leave it. Okay, so two very important points that I'll be going over. Sixth sense and why modernity is rejecting Christianity. Okay, to start off with the sixth sense, we'll be going over 5 things. Alright? So, number one is the normalization of pride. Pride is so, and I'm not just talking about LGBTQ. I'm talking about pride overall. Pride. Being proud. Alright? Disgusting. That idea of pride is being so normalized in today's society, right? They're telling everyone, oh, you should be proud of what you're supposed to do. You should be proud of how much money you're making. You should be proud of your children. Proud, 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 proud. Alright? But let's look at the meaning of pride. So here we have the definition of pride. A feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. The achievements of those with whom one is closely associated with, or forms qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Alright? So, it's almost like ego in a sense. You get pleasure from being better, from having achievements that other people don't have. You get satisfaction from that. You feed off of it. Alright? Off of your own glory. Self-absorbed. You're proud of your kids because they're my kids. They came from me. They came from my loins. And they're better than everyone else's kids. I'm proud of that. Pride. Arrogance. Satisfaction with oneself. Ego. So you're admired amongst others. That's what pride is. That's being normalized. Finding pride in your finances. That, wow, you're doing so well. You're so wealthy. Oh, look at me. I'm doing so well. I'm so wealthy. Look at your wife. She's so hot, man. Wow. I'm proud of my wife. Look at what I have. It's finding pride in these things that you use as achievements to give yourself meaning, give yourself definition that put you above others. Alright? Which leads to arrogance. This is exactly why Satan fell in the first place. Lucifer looked at his image and he saw he was so beautiful and strong and powerful, and he felt pride. So then he wanted to become better than God, so then he got casted down for his pride and arrogance. And this exact definition of pride is what's being normalized today. Trying to be better than others. Trying to be proud of your achievements that others haven't achieved, that you have. Alright? And this leads to detriment. And I have firsthand faced the effects of pride, and it is evil. This idea of, by your achievements, defining yourself to be better than others, following pride. It is so evil. It is so evil. Because it makes you look at other people's lives that haven't achieved what you have as less than yours, and you don't wish anything good for anyone but yourself, because that doesn't further your pride. Which just leads to this hate and aroma of competition that's not fruitful amongst you and others. That ruins relationships, leads to no progress in society, alright? And overall hate amongst others. It gives you the type of evil ambition that you seek nothing but the gratification of your own achievements over others to an extent where you would literally, like, if you saw your competition was drowning, instead of helping them out, you'd stick a hose in their mouth so your achievements are greater than theirs. And they go lower, you go higher, so you can be proud of your achievements. And this has been normalized everywhere. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. LGBTQ, pride. Alright? Take pride in your finances. And banks, they say that. Be proud of your academics. Be proud of your university degree. Oh, it's disgusting. And it's just normalized. When Jesus was baptized in the water with John the Baptist, God didn't say, I'm proud of you, my son. He said, I'm well pleased. I'm well pleased with you. Alright? And that's what we should aim for. Pleasing each other in a godly manner because we love one another. We want the best for one another. That's what love is in the Bible, by the way. It's wanting the best for someone else. Alright? It's not just affirming what they want. Alright? If your kid wants to shove a bunch of sugar in their mouth, alright? You know what? Let me actually write this down. Because when I'm going to cover why modernity hates the idea of Christianity, another one is a misconstrued idea of what love is. Alright? But as I was saying, if your child wants to eat a bunch of candy and it gives them pleasure, love nowadays is just whatever gives you pleasure. Alright? Wanting the best pleasure for someone. Alright? If your child wants to eat a bunch of candy, alright, and have like a sugar crash out, alright, or your friend wants cocaine, alright, and makes them high and feel good. When you take away the drugs or the sugar from your kid, right, are you doing that because you hate them or because you love them? That is the same reason why we don't want people to sin. It's because we love them, right? But the reason why people don't think it's out of love is because they don't understand how these sins ruin people and the implications of them. Alright, which is what I'll be getting into actually. But that's one of the things that I want to discuss amongst this sixth sense. Alright? When you become a Christian, you get to see how the world tries to normalize going against everything Christianity does. Which is honestly, in of itself, evidence of God being real. That Satan works the society, works the world, to normalize everything against God. Alright? So, normalizing pride, that is a big one. Alright? They say be proud of everything, which is so evil and so wrong. Pride doesn't lead to anything good. Being humble and being one of humility, right? That is honestly what causes true progress and true knowledge being gained and true betterment of oneself is by being one of humility. People are more likely to work with someone that's more humble than prideful. People like being around people that are more humble than prideful. When you're humble, you open yourself to other people's ideas and knowledge, and you can discern it. When you're prideful, you put a wall up. You don't want to take anything in. This is why in the book of Proverbs, it is said that one who is prideful cannot gain wisdom. But when one humbles himself, they can take in knowledge and wisdom. Because unless you humble yourself, that wall's going to be there. That's why you need to humble yourself. Alright? And humbleness and humility always leads to a greater profit, I'll put it that way, than pride. Alright? Moving on, another one. Cancel culture. Alright? If you do anything that's a little wrong against society, right? They say cancel him, cancel him, cancel him. Take away everything this guy values in life, alright? Screw him or her. They should be canceled. They should have their lives ruined. Their kids, their family should hate them. And they should live in a single room motel for the rest of their life with having people stick the finger to them whenever they see them on the road. Cancel culture. This evil notion of hating people and rejecting them from society for basic mistakes. Something as simple as doing a gesture or like doing a wrong tweet. They have to have their entire lives destroyed. They should lose their livelihood and their jobs. Their families should hate them. All because of that is getting normalized in today's society. But if you look at scripture, Jesus said, forgive thy enemy. Forgive those who I think it was like transgress against you. Forgive those who hurt you. Forgive others as you want to be forgiven in the kingdom of heaven. Literally in the Our Father prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us our debts as we want to have our debts forgiven. Forgive others. There's literally this one video of this dad who's in court with the serial killer who killed his son or something, who's being persecuted, and everyone that came before this dad was saying, I hope you rot in jail and burn and die in hell, all these horrible things. But when the dad came up here, I'm not gonna swear that you suffer like everyone else here, but you made it really hard for me to forgive you. But regardless, God has told me to do so. So you are forgiven. I want to tell you this. That forgiveness touched this cold serial killer's heart so much that he literally bursted out into tears. This is what I mean by God has the power to transform. Alright, that's evidence of God right there. Alright? But the way that his heart, that he's able to forgive others, that is what we need in today's society. Right? Because now, I'm not saying it should be normalized where like, because I'm going to be forgiven, should just do whatever I want. No. Alright? We still have to fear the Lord. Okay? But because of this absolute fear of everything getting taken from you, because of how harsh and rigid society is, people don't even speak their minds anymore. People are afraid of losing their jobs and their livelihood if they just say a single wrong word. If they might even be recorded. Why do you think people are so like tense whenever they see a camera? Like, oh, hi, yeah. Just be normal. But when you look at those like old videos of like when cameras first came out, people are just ridiculous. They don't care what's getting on out there. Alright, but everyone is so cautious now. It's because their livelihood, everything that, in a sense, I believe in only depending on God, right? But for some people, like, they have jobs, they have that, everything, right? Where they're worried if something gets out wrong that they just mistakenly said, or even if they said on purpose, right? But now realize it's wrong, okay? Now they get canceled for it. Everything in their lives goes wrong, and they should get absolutely hated by society and never forgiven. Alright? So now, because of this normalization of hate as to grace and forgiveness, mercy, literally one of the greatest definitions and features of God, grace and mercy on others. Right? And I'm not just saying like forgiveness, and it's like you still have to have consequences for your actions. Alright? You are forgiven, but you're still going to have consequences for your actions. Right? That is true. Alright? But have some mercy on someone. If a serial killer kills a bunch of people, right? I know this is a controversial topic, but I really don't care. Forgive, but you're still going to have to serve some time. Right? It's a consequence of your actions. With people that make comments, okay? I don't think that these people that make slight comments online or something like that should literally have their livelihoods taken from them simply because of the fact that they made a comment online. They didn't kill anyone. They didn't do something extremely severe. It's words. And I do understand words do have power, right? But there's no way a single comment or tweet could have done so much damage to a degree where someone's livelihood should be ruined over it. Alright? Forgive others. Moving on. Normalizing sleeping around. Alright? I recently went to TMU, and actually I'll be uploading an interview I did with a friend at TMU. It talks a little bit about my testimony. I'll have to do another video here though about my testimony. But I recently went to TMU. It's a university in Toronto. University or college, I'm not sure. Toronto Metropolitan University. Alright? And then, when you go there, alright? Like, it doesn't even need to be said, bro. You can sense the secularism. You can sense this like stupid culture of, oh, I'm gonna explore my sexuality before I settle down. I'm gonna be a little promiscuous. I'm gonna go test the waters. I was even told this by my parents. Oh, go look around before then settling down. God told us, save yourself for marriage. I'll be talking about this later, actually. But save yourself for marriage. Alright? But literally, high school, even middle school now, that's how crazy it is. High school, and then college, university, is, I call it ran through hood. Alright? Because that's where you get ran through, guy or girl. That's where you sleep with multiple different people before then settling down. Alright? Multiple different people before settling down. I won't even get into it too much, but like, I had this, I'll just say I went to someone close's family's party a while ago, and it gets normalized to like, degeneracy just gets normalized in like university and college. It's someone who goes to a university here in Canada, and we were talking about drinks, right? Drinks. And then I was like, oh, I don't really like to drink because like I just don't like the taste of it. I'd rather have a Diet Coke. Like if you look at my garbage can here, there's like four cans of it. I love this stuff. But and I know to an extent it's unhealthy and I have to break this habit. But that person also said, yeah, it tastes bad, right? But you do it to get effed up. Like she was like verbalizing her actions. Alright? Normalize getting effed up. Alright? So that whole fad of degeneracy and letting go of your purity, right? And that, so as I was saying, this normalization of degeneracy in society today, right? Not saving yourself for the person you're gonna marry. Ruining your body. Oh, it's okay. It's okay to be fat. Alright? Ruining your body. Okay? Or drinking excessively, smoking and vaping. Okay? And not saving yourself for marriage. All these things are being normalized, and they excess when you get into university or college. These places are like a cesspool of this stuff. Alright? Getting lit, having sex, doing all these types of things. I've talked to my friend that goes there, and he says, yes, this is extremely normalized here. Most people here have have bodies. Okay, and if you don't know what that means, that's like people you've had sex with, different people you've had sex with, multiple bodies. Alright? That gets normalized. And when that does get normalized, I'll get into the effects of it later, because I'll talk about that and why modernity rebukes Christianity, but I'm just trying to talk about like how Christians get this sixth sense of how like this flow of the world that goes against you by showing, oh, normalize this, normalizing sin. All right? And they say, believe in yourself. Be you, right? You're perfect as you are. There's nothing wrong about you. This reiterates that idea of pride in oneself, right? Of pride. Oh, I'm already good. I'm already better. I don't need any help. I don't need any correction. I'm already good. You know what God said though? Come as you are, don't stay as you are. Okay? But this society tells us believe in yourself. Even if there's something wrong with you, believe in yourself. Because there's no way something can be wrong with you, right? You're perfect. Okay? And they always promote this idea of selfishness. Provide for myself first. It's selfishness and faking caring about others, right? You care about yourself, but when it actually push comes to shove of helping other people, then it doesn't come to that, right? So it's selfishness. Selfishness and pride in oneself and who you are is getting normalized in today's society, which isn't what God wanted to be normalized. You aren't perfect. You need me. And I want you. That's what God said. We were made to be with God. Alright? And basing societal expectations, alright? Basing societal expectations on what God opposes. Money, social status, looks, lifestyle, being the best version of yourself according to what the society wants you to be, looking the best, making the best, having the best kind of work, driving the fanciest looking car. This is literally what God opposed when the Pharisees in the synagogues, how they want to have the best seats in the synagogues, do the fanciest prayers in the synagogues instead of actually helping people. God said, if you truly want to glorify God and be the best version of yourself that He wanted you to be, follow me and be selfless. Alright? But society is saying, no, best version of yourself. It's only this bubble and you're in it. Alright? Make the best version of yourself. Disgusting. Be the best version of yourself in God's eyes. Be the best you can be for Him, not for yourself. Okay? Even before I became a Christian, I always had a problem with this. I couldn't just care about myself. I couldn't just do things for myself. But whenever it came to doing something for someone else, like getting good grades, I did it because it would make my parents happy. When it came to that, I did really well once I realized it made them happy. I never did it for myself. And they normalize this idea of competition amongst each other. God tells us to be one in Christ, but the devil divides us by normalizing this extremity of competition in society, which is absolutely evil. Alright? And this normalization of only benefiting oneself, becoming the best version of yourself, no one else matters, also reflects in how we treat other people. We want to meet other people so we can benefit off of them. Networking with different people so we can benefit off of them. Having a friend group so we're not deemed as social outcasts. It's all normalized by society. And not even having this friend group because you genuinely like these people, you like hanging out with them. No. So you don't seem socially awkward, so you don't seem socially odd. Alright? And normalizing fun and normalizing witchcraft in a sense. Demonic things. Alright? Psychic readings, speaking with dead relatives, certain stones and features that you keep around you that make you feel good from having these things with you. Alright? That's all demonic. It's all demonic. And it gets normalized as fun fun, recreational things to do with your friends or something. When in reality, it's extremely evil. Alright? Now let's get into why modernity rebukes Christianity. Okay? First of all, it's because of a misconstrued definition of love. Alright? Love is wanting the best for someone. Alright? It's not wanting this illusion of the best for someone, which is wanting the best pleasure for them. Alright? When in reality, wanting the best for someone is wanting the best long-term outcome for this person. Because although in hindsight, your kid that wants to eat a bunch of sugar doesn't see how this will negatively affect him, in the spite of this moment, it does seem like it'll benefit him. But in reality, you know it won't benefit him. That's why when we preach to you certain things, it's out of love, because we know these things, you're better off having this outcome than the next. Alright? People think that all laws are stupid because of Old Testament laws that have came to pass. Alright? Like mixing fine linens, not eating certain foods. These laws have came to pass because of the new covenant we're under, which is under Jesus Christ. And if he has not reiterated a law or said such a law, you don't have to follow it. Those laws were made back then because God was trying to structure just a piece of the fullness of his law for a very unrighteous generation to follow. It's like, imagine telling a pagan child sacrificer to like all of a sudden like forgive thy enemy. All right, that's not gonna work. You have to kind of ease them into the law. It's kind of why like cold turkey isn't the best approach sometimes. All right. Celibacy. The reason why celibacy is important is because when you stay a virgin before marriage, right? You share this exclusivity with your partner, right? Just like as your mom has birthed you, that is why she's important to you. As your dad was the only one whose semen created you, your siblings, you guys shared the same womb, came from the same parents. That's something you guys only share with you. Sex is that one thing you only share with your partner, creating your relationship, creating exclusivity in your relationship. Although everything isn't based off of that, it does matter. And it's foolish to not say that, because only 6% of marriages that stay celibate before getting married, right, in the first 5 years get divorced, versus 30% of marriages that have had previous sexual relations before that marriage, in the first 5 years, they do get divorced. So yes, staying celibate is important because it'll affect your future marriage and the relationship you have with your partner. Alright? Because it'll make that person more important to you, leading to it being less likely for you to divorce them, because you made this commitment and a sacrifice for them. Alright? Which is more likely to make your relationship last longer. Alright? And for homosexuality, the reason why this is a sin is because generally families that have children, or families in general that are part of a heterosexual relationship under a godly construct, right? They tend to be lasting longer, all right? And generally have long-lasting happiness, all right? As to heterosexual relationships. And this is what God has intended in his eyes, and generally it benefits us in the long-term run. Alright? Leads to longer lasting happiness and a better outcome for the children. Children with two biological parents, as to one or none, generally tend to have better academic, social, and economic futures. Alright? This is a fact. With having a male and a female role model in the household. And people say this video is coming to an end, so I'll make a second part to this. Thank you guys so much for watching this. God bless. And stay tuned for the next part. Thank you.